Now, page 4, California's collision course with a pending made-by-its-governor political disaster. This coronavirus episode does not end well for the people who live in the once golden state. Think about it. Think about it. The governor of California is a Marxist straight out of the pages of Stalin, and he's not happy right now. In fact, he's rather upset because residents of his state actually enjoyed themselves this past weekend at the beach. That's right. They enjoyed their liberty. The weather was rather hot in Southern California, and people went to a few of the beaches that remain open. We can't have that, can we? No. These people are defying Big Brother, Newsom, and they must face the consequences. This is not some kind of political hyperbole that I speak. This is the truth. Gavin Newsom is irate because residents of his state had the nerve to exercise their rights to freedom of movement, freedom to assemble, and ultimately freedom of speech. All of this is in defiance of his orders, his decrees from Big Brother. Never mind the fact that there is no rational science behind the governor's decree to place 35 million people under house arrest. In fact, all the science points to a probable coronavirus uptick as soon as Herr Newsom allows people to finally go out and live their lives, if he does. Newsom is destroying the full and natural effects of herd immunity. He is delaying the inevitable, a massive and widespread transmission of the Wuhan coronavirus in his state. This talk from Newsom of containing the virus is absolute garbage. It's trash. Human beings cannot contain a virus, at least at this point in our development. We can only deal with one. This virus is going to outlive Newsom and all of us. And you know what? He knows it. He knows all of this. So Newsom must have a fall guy for when all of this happens. And you know who it's going to be? Why? It's going to be all of those people who went to the beach during the last weekend of April 2020. He will blame them for the spike in cases of the Wuhan coronavirus that is going to happen sometime later this year. Oh, it's going to happen. Not because these people went to the beach. It's because Gavin Newsom, he shut down California for political purposes. It's not because he wanted to protect people from a bug that has a mortality rate lower than the seasonal flu. Okay, then. So what happens when this spike hits in the fall and or winter in California? Lockdown part 2? If Newsom tries that, then he's going to be in for a rather large surprise, I think. Those sky-high approval ratings are going to start dropping, just like his economy. And even stoned and stupid California residents are going to say, hell no, Governor Dude. California residents will not comply. And then, well, it's going to get ugly. Mark my words. This California nightmare is not going to end well. Governor Newsom and his long-lived Big Brother plan to control the people who live in the nation's most populous state is going to end one way or another in a political disaster. Meantime, Governor Slickhair and his psychotic, choppy speech cadence and his closet full of mortician's ties is not terribly happy with California residents who actually express their God-given liberty on the beaches of Southern California.
And that's why I want to just confront the topic that is top of mind.
Stop tape. Notice the nervous laughter there? When he said the word confront, he threw in a little nervous laugh, right? That means he's a liar. To me, that's how I interpret it, okay? I'm sure there's some experts out there who can give another interpretation. But anytime somebody gives a little jiggle like that, a little prelude to a word, confront, that's a rather strong word, right? So he's about to confront the people who defied him, who defied his taking away of liberty. So he's about to admonish these people who actually exercised their constitutional rights, who actually had the guts to stand up to this slick-haired maniac. Roll tape.
And those are the images we saw over the weekend. The images down in Orange County and Ventura County on our beaches.
Tape. Think about it. Think about it. This guy's sitting there in his office in Sacramento or his home in Sacramento, and he's watching these people actually enjoying themselves, actually going to the beach, playing in the water. That's not what they're supposed to be doing, according to this Marxist socialist. They're supposed to be hunkered down. They're supposed to be going out and hoarding toilet paper and pasta noodles and baking soda for some reason. Tried to buy baking soda, it's gone, I don't know why. Flour, they're hoarding, and then go back home. That's all you're allowed to do. But the problem is, it's 85 degrees outside. Why do people live in California? Why did so many people move from Illinois, from the Midwest and what have you, to California? Is it to be locked inside their apartments on a beautiful day? If this was happening in November, December, and it's raining outside, this guy could get away with it. But he's not going to be able to pull this farce over the eyes of even liberal Californians much longer. Because people in the once Golden State are watching what is happening in other parts of the country. They're watching what's happening in the South, in particular in Florida, a state not unlike California, very different in many ways. But in terms of weather, it's kind of similar to California. They're watching what's happening in Florida, and those people enjoying their constitutional rights, and they're going to apply it to themselves and say, wait a minute, something doesn't look right here. And they're going to see what's going on in Georgia. They're going to see what's going on in Texas, the second largest state in the union, and they're going to start adding this up, and they're going to start putting pressure on this guy. They will never abandon a liberal, radical, Marxist socialist like Governor Newsom. They're never going to totally abandon this guy, but they are going to eventually move on with their lives. They're not smart enough, these people in California, to look at the numbers in Sweden, for example, where herd immunity, that's the other thing. Newsom is now saying he's waiting for herd immunity to take place. He's stifling herd immunity by forcing people to stay in their homes. Herd immunity can only take place when people are out living their lives. If he pays attention to what's going on in Sweden right now, their death rate, if you look at the entire population, not just the mortality and dividing that into the number of people who have had the Wuhan coronavirus, but if you use the entire population as a denominator, which is approximately the same as Los Angeles County, the mortality rate, the odds of dying from the Wuhan coronavirus in Sweden is 0.000302. In Los Angeles, it's 0.0001. Very, very similar numbers, drastically different approaches to the Wuhan coronavirus. So the people of California are beginning to question authority, and it's about time. Now, that doesn't mean that Gavin Newsom is not going to be re-elected governor, but what it does mean is that even radical liberals who live in the once Golden State want their freedom, their liberty, even if it means saying, sorry, Gavin, we're going to the beach.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.